Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all latest Dodgers news and rumors all off season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day: would you be interested in Robbie Ray or Kevin Gausman as a backup if the Dodgers can't re-sign Max Scherzer? I want all your takes on this one down below in the comment section. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So TGIF, thank God it's free agency. Now, this is going to be a different type of free agency season in Major League Baseball because they have to still iron out the CBA. We're looking at an inevitable lockout that's coming, so get ready for that. But we should get some activity, hopefully, before that lockout begins on December 1st. Now, I'm just telling you right now, Dodgers Nation, buckle up because it's going to be a wild ride this offseason. We're going to be dropping videos about all the potential free agents that the Dodgers could consider signing, some more likelier than others. And yes, the Dodgers, they have plenty of key free agents that they would like to sign, guys like Corey Seager, Max Scherzer, Chris Taylor, Clayton Kershaw, the list goes on. But let's remember, this is Andrew Friedman, so don't rule out some surprise moves this offseason. So we're going to explore tons of free agent possibilities, and we've got a new meter this offseason. Last year, we introduced the Dodgers rumor meter, where we use Dodger dogs and micheladas to gauge the legitimacy of all the rumors that were swirling last season. We'll see the return of that pretty soon when the rumors start to heat up. But the new meter, I'm calling it the Dream Dodger Free Agent Meter, where we rate the free agents that are on the open market this free agency season. So let's take a look at the meter. A 1 Dodgers fitted is no thanks, I'm good. A 2 Dodgers fitted is meh, wouldn't be mad. And then a 3 Dodgers fitted is solid, let's ride. And then a 4 Dodgers fitted is let's go, giddy baby. And then a 4 Dodgers fitted plus a Dodgers jersey is your dream Dodger. So that is the scale right there. And today we're going to start to look at some pitchers that could be backup options if LA can't retain Max Scherzer. The Athletic's Jim Bowden, in his piece a few days ago, he linked the Dodgers with Robbie Ray and Kevin Gausman. In his piece, it reads, if the Dodgers can't retain Scherzer, I think they will make a run at Kevin Gausman and, to a lesser extent, Robbie Ray. Adding another proven starter to go with Walker Buehler and Julio Urias at the top of their 2022 rotation is a must. So he says it right there that the Dodgers would pursue Kevin Gausman and Robbie Ray if they can't re-sign Max Scherzer. Now, yes, you have to consider the source when it is Jim Bowden. He talks a lot, but still, we can explore these options. By the way, Jim Bowden, I'm still waiting to see Nolan Arenado on the Dodgers. He said it was going to happen by last Christmas. But I digress. Let's just explore these names because, look, the reality is if the Dodgers can't re-sign Max Scherzer, they might want to look at another frontline starter. And Robbie Ray and Kevin Gausman, those are the 2 top names other than Max Scherzer that are in this free agency class to go along with guys like Marcus Stroman. But today, we're going to start with Robbie Ray. Now, if you remember last offseason, Robbie Ray, he bet on himself. He signed a 1-year, $8 million contract with the Blue Jays, and he had a fantastic year. He is going to win the AL Cy Young Award. And the most impressive thing about Robbie Ray last season was how he was able to lower that walk rate. He had really struggled with command for the majority of his career. In 2020, a 17.9% walk rate. This year, he lowered that number to 6.9%. He increased that K percentage from 27.1% to 32.1%. He had the lowest ERA in the American League at 2.84, 7th in WAR at 3.9. Another impressive thing is he actually improved following MLB's crackdown, because we're going to be paying close attention to that detail as well. How did pitchers fare after MLB cracked down on pitchers using foreign substances? Now, before the crackdown, he had a 3.5 ERA, a 1.17 WHIP, a 4.37 FIP, a 31.5 K percentage, 6.5 walk percentage. after the crackdown, a 2.43 ERA, 3.26 FIP, 3.26 Sierra, a .98 whip, a 193 opponent's batting average, a 32.5% K percentage. The walk rate went up just a tick, but still a very, very impressive season for Robbie Ray. Now, I know what you're thinking. Would Walker Buehler be comfortable with having a guy on his team that wears tighter pants than him? I don't know about that. And you also have to factor in, he really is a two-pitch pitcher. You got the fastball, you got the slider combination, and his slider is definitely filthy, but he doesn't have that dynamic pitch mix that we see with a lot of guys, like Max Scherzer, for example. And the other thing, too, his velo did go down as the season progressed. That's something to think about. And also, I think next season, you're pretty much due for some regression with Robbie Ray. It was a contract year. He wanted to put himself in a position to get some cash, to make a nice bag, and he definitely did that. And you're probably looking at a contract anywhere between 5 years, 120 plus million for Robbie Ray. So when you consider that and you compare it to Max Scherzer, who's looking for a deal in the $100 million range, a 3-year, $100 million deal at age 37, I think Max Scherzer starts to look like the better value because you're tied down to less years. He's still great. He's not showing any signs of slowing down. He was fantastic for LA last year. So for me, Max Scherzer is still my first choice, especially if the Dodgers can get him on a short-term high AAV deal. That's the one he's likely going to sign. And I think with Max Scherzer, you're getting a ace-level pitcher, a guy that can still get it done at his advanced age. But with Robbie Ray, you're getting a younger pitcher with more years. So that's something that you would consider. But I think that at this point, I wouldn't give Robbie Ray over $100 million because I think you're going to see that regression. Now, let's break out the Dodgers free agent meter for Robbie Ray. For me, I think he's really a 2.5 Dodger hat, something in between a meh, wouldn't be mad, and solid let's ride. But to me, that's where he is. He's not a guy that I'll go crazy about. He's not a guy that I'd be giddy for. But if the Dodgers did strike out on Max Scherzer and they pivoted to Robbie Ray, I think that is something that I could talk myself into based on the contract. If it was sub $100 million on a shorter term deal, I think that's something that would be interesting. But I think he's going to have suitors that are going to be willing to pay him coming off a Cy Young Award winning season. So look, I mean, we could round up and give him solid. I mean, I think it's more of a solid move based on anything else. But for me, Robbie Ray is a somewhat interesting idea. But for me, he just doesn't have that equity. He hasn't been elite for enough years to command that type of money, in my opinion, especially when you still have Walker Buehler and Julio Urias. Dustin May is going to be back. But I think the big caveat is, do they strike out on Max Scherzer? Because if they only see him as a potential option and they don't anticipate trading for a guy during the season or before the season, then I think you could potentially bump that up to a solid if they could get him at a discounted rate. But next guy we're going to look at is Kevin Gausman. Now, Kevin Gausman, he was a revelation for the San Francisco Giants, especially early in the year. He accepted that qualifying offer, and the big issue I have with Kevin Gausman, you guys know I call him Kevin Gausman, is he was a different guy after MLB's crackdown on foreign substances. Before the crackdown, just look at his numbers: a 1.51 ERA, a .77 WHIP, a 157 opponent's batting average, a 238 FIP, a 30.5 K percentage, a 5.6 walk percentage. Now, after MLB's crackdown on June 21st, when they started checking, these were his numbers. He was 6-5 with a 3.96 ERA, a 3.55 FIP. That WHIP went from .77 to 1.28. K percentage dropped to 28.4%. That's not too terrible. And then opponents, they were hitting 249 against him. So he just wasn't the same pitcher. He's another guy that's probably looking at a contract in the range of $100 million, 4 or 5 years, something like that. And for me, when it comes to Kevin Gausman, I'm going to give him a no thanks, I'm good, a 1 Dodger hat, especially at that price. It's not because he's a former San Francisco Giant. Yes, he has that filthy splitter. It's a great pitch for him, but I just didn't see enough consistency out of him after MLB's crackdown. Some people are saying he's a fraud. Me, I'm just saying he's Kevin Gausman, and I just wouldn't pay that type of money for him. I would rather explore the trade market and look for other guys. So I do think number one priority is to try to get Max Scherzer back. These guys, not great options in my opinion. Marcus Stroman is another guy we talked about. But to me, if you're the Dodgers, they have the cash, right? They print money, but they also understand value. And these guys are different when they're getting this kind of money. And when you talk about a Robbie Ray and a Kevin Gausman, they're just not two guys that I would spend $100 million on when I have Max Scherzer willing to take that money for shorter years. So you guys know where I stand. Give Max Scherzer max money on a short-term deal. So in my opinion, age is just a number when it comes to Max Scherzer. I think the St. Lunatic is going to have another 2 to 3 great years before he hangs him up. But let me know down below in the comment section, should the Dodgers pursue Robbie Ray or Kevin Gausman if they can't re-sign Max Scherzer? I want all your takes down below. My name is Doug McKay, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all things Dodger baseball all off-season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. For all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com, download the new Dodgers Nation app, and until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.